Mexico. The birthplace of tacos, mariachi music, and a holiday that turns the streets into something else entirely. Dia de los Muertos. This isn't one of those big productions you see online. No massive floats, no crowds flying in from everywhere, just a small coastal town and a plaza that slowly becomes the center of everything. A night that belongs to the people who live here. Music spills into the streets, kids run around in face paint, vendors set up like they've done this 100 times before. Nothing feels staged, and nothing feels rushed. You just show up, and the townspeople take it from there. Day of the Dead didn't begin as a holiday. It began as a belief. More than 3,000 years ago, ancient Mesoamerican cultures, like the Aztecs, honored their dead through long, ritualistic ceremonies. Death wasn't feared, it was accepted, a part of life, something you lived alongside, not away from. Then Spain arrived, not gently and not peacefully. Spanish colonizers brought Catholicism with them. Instead of erasing the old traditions completely, the two worlds blended. Indigenous rituals were absorbed under Catholic rule, and over centuries, that fusion became something uniquely Mexican, a holiday that mourns the dead by celebrating them. Eventually, the parade keeps moving. Everything else drifts back towards the square. The plaza is where the night slows down. If you wait long enough, the entire town passes through here. We made our way into the downtown heart of Puerto Vallarta. Not the resort's version, but like the locals, getting lost amongst the history and pride of Mexican culture. Cars line the streets and families flood the walkways. No one's in a hurry. The entire city's on foot, sharing the same night. During Day of the Dead, these statues start appearing everywhere, on sidewalks and doorways, outside restaurants and shops, calaveras, skeletons, dressed like the living, playing music, working jobs, falling in love. They're not meant to be spooky. They're not decorations, but invitations. This tradition goes back more than 3,000 years to their Aztec and Mesoamerican roots, long before Puerto Vallarta existed, and long before Mexico was Mexico. Back when death wasn't feared, it was accepted. Another chapter in the same book. Life doesn't end. It just changes. Families believe the dead returned once a year, not as ghosts and not to haunt anyone, just to visit, drawn back by scent, by memory, by the things they love in life. These statues represent the dead as they once were, that they're still a part of this world, and they're still welcome in it. It's a celebration of death, really. Death is dressed up, put in the street, given a candle and a plate of food, and treated like an old friend stopping by. We kept walking through the crowd, no real destination, just letting the streets pull us forward. Around every corner, someone was playing music. Guitars, trumpets, voices that sound like they've been doing this longer than I've been alive. And somewhere between the music and the candles, that smell hits you. Meat cooking slow over fire. That's when the hunger kicks in. So we ducked into a small spot nearby. Nothing flashy, no signs trying to lure you in, just a counter and a guy who clearly knows what he's doing. Tacos al pastor. This style comes from Lebanese immigrants who arrived in Mexico in the early 1900s, bringing with them the idea of spit-roasted meat, shawarma. Mexico took it and adapted it and made it its own. No gimmicks, no reinvention. This food knows exactly what it is, and it's amazing. After fighting off a heat stroke for 30 minutes in the streets of Mexico, I was craving something simple, something sweet. In the town square, this guy, Rayer's hat and all, was making marquesitas, a local obsession. A pale, creamy batter hits the hot iron and spreads thin. No fluff, no rise, just heat and time, combined with fruit, syrup, and cheese, whatever you ask for, rolled up quick and handed over while it's still crackling. And now, it was time to try it.
Yeah, as you saw, I put like some cheese in it, which I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little bit concerned about that. Cheese bola. I don't know how I feel about cheese with my sweets, but we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna be open-minded here. Honest review, probably like a 6.5 out of 10. Sí, eso. Oh, gracias. Muchas gracias.
Adiós, feliz Halloween. Ay,
gracias.
Once the food was gone, we kept it moving. We browsed the tents around the square. We saw some churros being fried from scratch, and a few stalls over, they were selling stuffed animals, toys, whatever Mexican children like, even some secondhand American makeup. Then we stumbled up upon this.
There's like a little art piece demonstration, something going on. Let's go look at that together.
Maxamuri. Así se llama. Está raro, ¿no? Maxamuri.
So yeah, now we're just walking home from the square. This is kind of what this is what traditional Mexican life kind of looks like. What you would kind of call like the village life, not necessarily modern Mexico. The family aspect here in Mexico, specifically the more village side of Mexico, once you start getting out of the main touristy big cities and stuff, it's completely awesome. Every single night, the entire family eats each other. I'm talking mothers, brothers, fathers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, everyone, every single day has dinner together. which is something it sounds so silly and stupid, but that is what is missing a lot in America, is the fact that there's such a huge lack of family dynamic here. From just walking into stores, into restaurants, walking around the streets, you can just feel the family dynamic, and you can feel the family presence, and you see it everywhere you are. So that was the Ixtapa Town Square. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one.